Well, the top of the table clash in the WNBL lived up to all expectations, but ultimately it was the first place Southside Flyers coming out on top over the University of Canberra Capitals, 70-65. The WNBL GOAT, six-time MVP, Susie Bakovic, was beside me for the call. And Susie, it wasn't pretty, I suppose, but gosh, it was an enthralling, engaging contest.
Yeah, look, it was far from pretty, but it was nice to see them trying to grind it out. And obviously, you know, that's what you want in a game, and especially top of the table.
Yep.
And obviously, you know, Flyers came out on top, and that's who I'd picked to win, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I'm sure you would be. You kept on ramming that home throughout the broadcast. Let's have a look at some of the top scorers from tonight's clash at the National Convention Centre. Mariana Tolo worked her way into that game with 8 points in that last quarter, but there was, as always with the Southside Flyers, Susie, there's a really nice spread of even scorers for them. Olivia Apupa, she finished with 11 points to start French International, and defensively and offensively she put on a wonderful display at the National Convention Centre.
Yeah, she really did, and it was a pleasure to watch her play. She works so hard out there, and I know she's quick, but she does a bit of everything. And look, her rebounding for someone that at that size, hats off to her. She doesn't stop working.
Is there any way that you can stop her with that speed?
I don't think so.
She's the #1 stealer in the WNBL, as these highlights can attest to as well, Olivia Apupa. And that was right on the stroke of half-time, that steal and eventual layup to really lift the UC Capitals. But ultimately it wasn't enough, because the Flyers were led superbly by some of their starting 5 players, and Beck Cole was enormous. She had 13 points alone in the final quarter, defensively and offensively. I have to say, she does sort of come to the fore for TV games. She really enjoys the limelight, but gosh, she put on a great display today.
She put on a great show, and I feel like she, at some points in that game, she put that team on her shoulders and like, come with me, I'll help us get a few points here, and then someone else pitch in, and then I'll help again. So hats off to her. She had a great game today.
She seems like a more complete player, particularly after 3-on-3, but with a jump shot as well as getting to the rim, which is her bread and butter, she seems like a more complete player now.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I feel like that 3-on-3 has really helped her game, and she's great to watch. She just works so hard, but she's finishing off so well in the paint, which is really nice to see.
Well, she finished the game really strongly. Mercedes Russell from the US of the Southside Flyers, she started the game really strongly with 11 points in the first quarter to set the tone for the Southside Flyers.
Yeah, look, I think obviously the foul trouble is what hurt her. Obviously they still got the win, so it's all good, but I think what slowed her down at the end of the day was getting into foul trouble and sitting on the bench for that period of time.
As a fellow big, did you enjoy watching Tolo and Russell go head-to-head?
Yeah, look, it was nice to see them go head-to-head, and I think at different times, I think Mercedes Russell really stood up in the first 2-3 quarters, and I think Tolo found her feet in the third and the fourth, so it was a good battle.
We saw first versus second today, but next week on Fox Sports we see third versus fourth. It's the Melbourne Boomers taking on the Adelaide Lightning at the State Basketball Centre. We're really looking forward to that contest. Make sure you don't miss that next Sunday on Fox Sports. But here at the National Convention Centre, the top of the table clash was a cracker. It was the Southside Flyers 70 defeating the Capitals 65.